Hey everyone, I'm John, and today I'm up here in Cape Cod in mid-April, early spring, and I've never been up here this time of year. It's pretty fascinating. The trees, the deciduous ones at least, are still bare, so it's a little easier to spot birds. And some different kinds of wildlife. Yesterday I saw a loon a little close to the coast and the shoreline, and a scotter. I've seen those before. I think either a surf scotter or a white-winged scotter. Those are species of sea duck that live here. And I also got to see some of the herring run. So each year, kind of like salmon, herring will run up the rivers from the ocean, rivers, streams, to get to lakes to breed. I was able to see some of that, see some herring, which was really cool. I also, ironically enough, saw a herring gull trying to hunt them. I didn't get any shots of them catching any herring, but it was cool to see. So right now, it's the next morning. I'm out in the coastal forests. I have a lot of pines, some deciduous trees, and I'm headed towards this field. I'm hoping to see some cool stuff. We have cooler weather, which draws out some more of the mammal life, so I'm hoping maybe to see foxes, coyotes, hopefully. It's also wild turkey breeding season, so if I could find some turkeys, that'd be really cool, but I'll just be happy to find whatever I can. There's a lot of life out here during the spring, so yeah, I'm just gonna go all around this area of Cape Cod and take video of whatever cool wildlife I find. So be sure to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy. I'm not seeing anything big, but I hear a lot of songbirds, which is really nice. Now this area, if I remember correctly, I think it was like a little mini go-kart track or something like that. But it's since been converted to this nice little piece of grassland, which is some pretty cool habitat. I guess you say part of the coastal plains. A lot of this nice grassland habitat used to be home to the now extinct heath hen. And the heath hen was basically just the eastern version of the prairie chicken. It's pretty cool. It's unfortunately extinct, but that would have been cool. It's an early spring morning, which means I've been able to see some if we were here a couple hundred years ago. I don't remember exactly when they went extinct, but every once in a while, whenever I go to a place, I think it's always cool to just think about what was once here. I do that a lot when I go to parts of Pennsylvania. I think, wow, there used to be mountain lion and elk and wolves here, but it's also good to appreciate what's still here, because there is a lot of wildlife, a lot of beautiful plant life out here. I gotta get better at identifying plants. I'm not sure what all these are. Some kind of grass, I'm not sure. And these pine trees, I believe. Let's take a look. I believe these might be eastern hemlock. I'm not sure. I'm gonna look into it, and if I'm wrong, I'll put the name and scientific name once I edit the video. It's beautiful out here. You can hear all sorts of birds. Heard some sparrows, heard some cardinals earlier. Don't really see many. They're very small and fast. Songbirds can be hard to get any good footage of, but I'm gonna try and get some. I'm gonna look around, see if I can get close enough to get some decent footage and photos of some of the songbirds out here. But yeah, it's a beautiful morning. Not too cold, not too warm. A little bit windy, but it's really nice out. Okay, I think I just saw a northern flicker fly up. I could be wrong, but I think I see one kind of on the trail up ahead, so I'm gonna lay low and try and get a shot of him. So I was just over there filming this Savannah sparrow, which was really neat. And there was a northern flicker right behind me, right? He's sitting right behind me. I could hear him. I turned around and he darted off. So I missed that. I keep looking around and seeing what other animals I can find. I hear lots of birds. Spotting them is a little more difficult than I thought it would be. I thought with like bare branches it'd be easier, but allow them to take cover from the wind and from predators. There are hawks and stuff that live here. So yeah, we keep looking around. I've always had a little bit of trouble with some woodpeckers like northern flickers, just because when they're up in the trees, they dart around so fast. It can be hard to find one just sitting there so you can focus in on it and get some footage and stuff. But it's pretty fun. It's really nice out here. Really beautiful little area. Lots of birds. So let's see if we find anything else. Just saw a male northern cardinal. That was really pretty. I got the sun right there, so some pretty good lighting. Nice little footage, just 11 seconds because he flew off, but nice little moment. So that was cool. So I was able to find a northern flicker. I don't think it was the northern flicker I spooked. Walked down the trail a little ways away. It might have been, but that was pretty cool. You could see it perched on top of that tree, doing all sorts of calls. That was really neat. Alright, so I've just been walking around these nice little pine woods, and it's a really interesting little habitat. This is very similar to the pine barrens back in New Jersey. A lot of the same kinds of trees, maybe same species of pine, I believe pitch pine maybe, but very close together, very thick. You can't really see what's ahead of you, which makes it very exciting. I'm not going to go all the way, but I know this trail, if I keep going straight, leads to the ocean. But I'll get there later today. I think if I don't see anything here, I'm going to head back home, get some food, and then I'll film once I get to the next spot. So that's this nice patch of woods. It's more than just a patch of woods. I looked on the Google Maps. This is actually part of the Cape Cod National Seashore, which is awesome. That means all of this land is protected from development. And this is good habitat for things like fishers, deer, turkeys, all sorts of birds, and some reptiles and amphibians. It's really nice to have forests like this. All right, beautiful area. So I'm going to be heading back now, and I'll let you know if I see anything on the way back, and then hopefully we'll get towards the coastline and we can find some cool stuff there. So it's neat sometimes in nature to reminisce a little and think about what used to be. And you can see it right here. This is what a lot of parts of Cape Cod used to be. It's very interesting. Just looking at it, how thick it is, the kind of terrain and stuff. I wonder what it must have been like for the Indian tribes that lived here, or the tribe. The tribe on Cape Cod was called the Nauset tribe. And that's where you get the name for Nauset Light, Nauset Beach. They would have hunted white-tailed deer and turkey here. I'm not sure how much hunting they did. There are turkeys and whitetails here, and there probably were maybe more deer back then. I don't usually see deer here, but there are a lot of turkeys. Turkeys recovered very well after they were hunted to near extinction in the early 1900s and such. But yeah, I wonder what it must have been like with nothing but a bow and arrow. Or maybe a spear. I'm not sure. Different tribes had different hunting tactics. When I was working on the American deer, I did some research. They had all sorts of different techniques. Some tribes would pen them up. They would chase deer into a pen to get them. Because before firearms, hunting deer for food, I imagine must have been very stressful, especially out here. And you got to imagine out here in winter conditions, that must have been difficult. Or maybe not, I don't know. I don't know much about what hunting life was like for them, but I do know they also had the sea. They were dependent on all sorts of sea life, different kinds of fish, shellfish and such. Yeah. That'd be neat to take a time machine sometimes, I think. Just come back here and see what life was like. What was it like living off the land here on Cape Cod? It must have been very interesting. One interesting little fact that I left out about the Nasa tribe is that when they were hunting, the arrows, the points would be made out of horseshoe crab spine. I thought that was pretty cool. And it's nice to have places like this, preserved forests and fields and natural wild places. It's not only good for wildlife, which is obviously one of my favorite things to do out here, but it's neat in many other ways from a historical perspective. It's neat to see what the land used to be, because a lot of us live in suburbs, cities, more urban areas, and it's nice to just come out here and to just remember that this is what America is. These pine forests and all that is part of what makes our country so beautiful and unique. It's a part of our history, our heritage, and places like this are worth keeping around and protecting. But, yeah, beautiful spot. I haven't really seen any animals, but it's just really awesome getting out here, looking around. The forest is very thick. You have to look really close. I may have walked past an owl or something that I might just not have seen. But I feel like a lot of animals here are probably quiet and very well camouflaged. But I do know I haven't heard as many songbirds here. There's a lot of songbirds in the field. I didn't hear too many here. I wonder if there's a reason for that, but I can't really complain. It's just really great being out here. So I'm heading back now, and we'll see if we can find anything on the way back. Hopefully we'll head toward the coastline soon. Alright everyone, so it's the next morning, and today is actually a pretty historic day. Today is Easter Sunday, and some people call it Resurrection Sunday. And it's the day where Jesus rose from the dead. It's a very, very special day, and we have a beautiful morning for it. Hoping to see some seabirds on the coastline. You can hear this little marshy forest part. You can hear some red-winged blackbirds. But yeah, it's a beautiful day in every meaning of the word. It's a physically beautiful day, just looking around, seeing all the nature here. And it's a beautiful thing that Jesus rose from the dead and died for our sins, conquered death. And it's just a great day to be alive. And I'll post this video after Easter, so I hope you guys enjoyed this day. Yeah, let's get down to the water and see what we can find. I've seen a couple cormorants and a few seagulls out there. It's really cool, really nice, beautiful morning. Yeah, sometimes mornings up here don't even feel real. They're so amazing. Nice little shellfish. I don't know what kind it is, but when I edit it, I'll put the name in. A little broken, but that's a pretty shell. Alright, so I wasn't recording because it was kind of windy down there, but I got some footage of a common eider, which is a really cool species of sea duck. It was a common eider drake resting on the shore during low tide. I was at this harbor at low tide. All sorts of birds around, some shorebirds I wasn't able to get footage of. There was a laughing gull that was pretty neat, but the main thing was the common eider drake. That was pretty cool to see.
And I was recommended several times. $500 a day.
So yesterday when I was back in the forest, I was talking about what it would have been like for the Indians that lived here hunting and such. And here in Truro, they have, I guess, a replica of one of the places they used to live in. It's a really neat little hut. I forget what it's called, but like everything else I forget, I'll put the name when I edit the video. But it's pretty neat. They would have had a fire here and a sort of chimney. The hole is for smoke. So right here is where they would have had the fire, and then they have their own kind of a chimney right up there. That's where the smoke would go out, so that you wouldn't get smoked out if you're all smoked. It's really interesting. You can see there's some cracks in the walls. They might have used animal hides and such for insulation. And here's what the beds looked like. So that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna look around and see if we can find any cool wildlife. I don't know if the camera can pick them up, but I can hear some spring peeper down there. They're a tiny little frog that are very loud, and right now is their breeding season, so you'll be hearing them wherever there's even a small amount of fresh water, all little vernal pools where they lay their eggs. Alright, so to end off this Cape Cod trip, I just found an osprey nest here. I'm at the bay, and here in the marsh, there's an osprey nest just right out there. Getting a few shots. There's one sitting on the nest right now, actually. Let's see if you can see that. That's pretty cool. These are one of my favorite birds, just awesome animals. It's really cool to see them nesting here. Alright guys, so that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any of the species that were featured in this video, just be sure to leave a comment below. And be sure to subscribe. God bless you guys, and I'll see you next time.